Your favorite podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, he's in the green room. He's sitting by. It is chapter 8 of KJ Arntz with Mitchie the Kid at Mitch_Seattle. Mitch Unfiltered. I didn't even make you wait this time. You were promptly right in there, right at the time I told you. Actually, a minute late. And you didn't have to wait.
You caught me with my glasses, though. I don't like to be seen with my glasses.
Oh,
I'm very vain. I'm vain about that. Yeah, I'm not vain about just that. I'm vain about everything. Everything. Yeah, it's not. I don't
when did the eyesight go? Because for me, it's been the last year. This last 12 months, I went from I could see and read everything. My God, I can't read anything anymore.
Well, I don't recall when I started needing readers, but I do remember going to the eye doctor. This is many years ago. I went to the eye doctor and he said to me, now look, your eyes are great. You got, I don't know what he said, your distance, you're fine. You'll probably never need glasses for distance, but you're at the age now where in the next probably 6 months, you're going to notice a change. You're going to look down to read something and it's just going to be blurry. And that's just the way it goes. And I said to him, Doc, no, that's not going to happen to me. And I think it was like 9 days later. And I went through a period of denial. Did you go through denial? I went through denial and I just decided, you know what? No, it's not really that blurry. I can deal with this. And then you start moving the book like a few or the phone a little bit further away. And you start, but you're just in complete, I was just in complete denial. Yeah.
I was in denial for about 5 months. I mean, I really, it was about 5 months. I'd go to restaurants. Yeah. And that's when I first noticed it, was the restaurants on the menu. And I would look down, I go, I can't read that. I mean, so bad. And I would just tell the kids or my wife, just pick something out. I don't know what it is. I don't care what it is. Because I didn't want to, I just don't want to wear those glasses. I just don't want, because once you put them on, it's like, that's the first step. It's the first step to the grave. For me, it's the first step.
Let me tell you the one thing that I would never do that you've already said you've done. I would never do it in my entire life. Is tell somebody else to order for me.
Well, they know.
Does that surprise you?
Yeah. I would. No, it does not surprise me.
Especially my kids, because if I said to my kids, just order something for me, they would pick something on the menu that they knew I would not like. They would pick something that had mushrooms because I have this lifelong aversion to mushrooms. And I don't want anything that's ever seen a mushroom. If a mushroom's been in it, I want you to make it over. I don't want anything near mushrooms. And they would absolutely, if I said, just order something for me, they would whisper to the server, do you have anything with lots of mushrooms in it? Just put it in front of them.
Do you know my wife? Are you familiar with Kaisa Mo? Do you know her?
No.
God's the same way.
I hate mushrooms. Oh my God.
Can't have them. Just can't have them.
Can't even look at them.
Yeah, same way. It's exactly the same way.
Well, you tell her never to make a deal with your kids.
Okay.
Because my son, who's now graduated, so it would have been about 5 or 6 years ago, he was a junior or senior in high school, and he said to me, what do I got to get on my SATs for you to sit down and eat a bowl of mushrooms in front of your entire family? And I said, there is no score, Max, that you can get on your SATs for me to eat mushrooms. He said, yes, there is, Dad. Yes, there is, Dad. Give me the score. I said, you want the score? He said, yeah. I said, 1,600. A perfect score. You get a perfect score and I'll eat them. And he said, come on, be realistic, be reasonable. I said, no, eating mushrooms is not reasonable to me. I've spent my entire 52 years on the planet just avoiding mushrooms at all costs. He said, come on, give me a number. And I gave him a number slightly under 1,600. I mean, a skosh under 1,600, and he got it.
No.
Yes. And I sat in an LA restaurant and my mother and my 2 brothers who have listened to me for years avoid mushrooms at all costs, and my kids and my wife and others, I think, and my nieces and my nephew. And I sat and I consumed a bowl of sauteed mushrooms. And there was nothing else in it. No chicken, no, just mushrooms. And they all videoed me, and I was gagging the whole time as I was eating. It was awful.
At least they were cooked, sauteed. Like if I were them, I would have been a real a-hole and be like, make them raw. Just cut them up raw, because that they're the worst. Because that's when they taste like dirt, like absolute dirt.
Oh, so you don't? It's not just your wife; it's you too.
Yeah, I'll cook. No, I'm okay on them. I like them. I like my pizza a little bit, but they got to be cooked. I like beef stroganoff. Look at me. I'm a big beef stroganoff fan. I scream beef stroganoff. If somebody looks at me, like coming out of me would be beef stroganoff. So but they got to be cooked. I can't raw. No way. Cannot have them raw.
You should have seen the size of this bowl in LA.
Oh, I bet it was great. I bet it was great. Hey, you brought up Max for a quick second. Max is, how old is he?
I always got to do the math. He's 23 years old.
Okay.
He's 23 years old. He's a year out of the University of Washington. Oh. Your favorite place.
Yeah. Your youngest, though, is at Arizona.
He's a freshman at the University of Arizona. That's right.
Okay, so he actually this is a better question for him.
Yes,
or case study for him.
His name is Brett. If you want to refer to him by name, you can.
Yeah, Brett.
Yeah, Brett.
Okay, so 18. Yeah. I was just discussing this with Brad. Now, I have just a bunch of baseball kids who are crazed. 12 years, 11, 12 years old, right?
Yeah,
coaching over the years.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say none of them, but they aren't the biggest, because we'll talk about Julio in a second, and that just real pot stirring tweet that you put.
Well, why not? Why did you have to get on me for that? I
love it. It was such a good. It was such a good tweet. Why wouldn't you do it? I mean, I wouldn't do it, but why wouldn't you think about it?
I didn't say any of that. What are you talking about?
But that's what you're getting at. I know.
No. That's not what I'm getting at. You don't know what I'm getting at. Did I apologize for the tweet in the tweet?
You just said I'm bored.
I said sorry.
Oh yeah. But you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing.
I had fun. It was fun.
I like it. I think it's great. That to me that's like sports radio. That's sitting at a bar. That's fun.
But that's not Mitch Sports Radio. That's not Jason Puckett Sports Radio.
I know, but
that's more Graz with gas, and that's your number one overall. That's more number one overall, Jim Moore.
Oh, I can't believe you. What did you think of Jim Moore?
You and I haven't even discussed that. You want to know why? Because you were too busy to do a show last week. You were
I needed a break.
You were distraught over the 12-year-olds getting drafted, getting freaking. But did you guys go 0-2?
0-2. 0-2. All coaching.
What were the scores of the games?
Oh. Do we have to do this?
Yes, we have to do this because we
tried hard and they played great. The coach let them down.
Scores of the game.
A lot to a little.
What was the scores of your audience deserves?
They already know what the scores were. I've already done it.
I don't then. Tell me.
Go back and listen to it.
No.
So Paul Skeens.
Would Paul Skeens have helped you? Would he have helped you in those two games?
I sure would have. Yeah.
You would have
10-0. We lost 10-0 and then 15-0. We did not score a run in two games. It was a rough one.
Who chose the all-star coach? Who chose?
I think myself. I think I chose myself.
Oh, that's always
a rough one. We ran in some great teams. Great teams.
Oh,
two great teams. The one team won the team that beat us the first time won the district.
I blame the 2-hole hitter. But go ahead.
Well, I think I did a few times, and there were some quiet ride homes. Okay. Now we're all over the place here.
Yes. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go?
What did you think of the Jim Moore's article? Number 2. What? Gas over you?
Stop. Just stop.
I mean, why? I mean, just right you know that you're better than them, and just so tell us why you think you should be number 1.
Come on, really? Come on.
You like how he threw me and Ian on there at number 10? I'm like, it's just stupid. Don't even do that.
Well, the truth is, I didn't really pay attention to the early ones.
Hey, what did you think? I never crossed paths with her. I listened to her. What were your thoughts on Nancy, this fabulous sports babe?
Wrong guy to ask because I kind of I wasn't here when she was here. Remember, I replaced.
Okay, that's right. You replaced her.
I replaced her. She was on. Apparently, somebody reminded me this just the other day, and I guess I had blocked it out. She left to go to ESPN, and they did like this search for her replacement from 12 to 3. They brought in different people to audition. They were going with, on an interim basis, my dear friend Brian Wheeler at the time, Wheels, may he rest in peace. And they had decided he wasn't the long-term answer, 12 to 3, and he thought he was the long-term answer. He tells a great story. I wish he were around to tell you that story. It's fabulous. And so they were bringing in people to replace her. But I guess when they decided on me or offered me the job and I came in from 12 to 3, she was on right before me. I didn't remember this. 10 to 12, they syndicated her. I guess part of the deal in the divorce was they got to syndicate the show from ESPN from 10 to 12. So 10 to 12, it was New York Vinny and Michael Knight. Michael Knight and New York Vinny from 6 to 10, the fabulous Sports Spade from 10 to 12, and then Mitch in the midday from 12 to 3. Right? So but the other part of this is I was on her show from DC a couple of times.
Okay, so what'd you think?
Different, funny, but I was only exposed to like the segment that I was on. You remember, we couldn't sit on a computer and listen to. I couldn't listen to her show. I didn't really know. It was fine. It was fine. I didn't think she was particularly good with guests. That's just my opinion. But what do I know? I'm only number 2. You ask the guy.
Yeah, I'm going to get those guys on.
We're number 2.
Ask them.
Number 2.
Oh, I want to go back to. Oh, all right. So now I'm going to circle back.
No, don't circle back yet. You haven't told. Have you said on your show
what
your opinion of Jim Moore's ranking? Would that have been your ranking? I'd like to hear. I
would have had. I told him I would have had our show that we did on there. I thought we had a good show.
It wasn't on there. I see. I didn't pay attention to 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Yes.
Well, he had one guy on there that I'd never heard of. I guess he was a longtime Seattle PI columnist that had maybe like before Wayne Cody did a show, and so I don't know that. I was fine. I was a good list. I had everything on there that I probably would have put on there. I don't know why I can't believe he put on Brock and Salk just because of how much he hates him so much. And I was pretty stunned that he put him on there. I was like, why would you hate that guy more than anybody hates anybody in the world?
Are you okay with Graz and Gas being the number 1? Now, where would you put each of them on? They were only on together for a short time. They each had their own careers individually. They did their own shows, both at KJR and at Cairo. And I think the way. Yeah, but I think the way they did it, it's just kind of, I think it's what people liked. It's more sitting around a bar, more sitting around a barbershop, whatever you want to call it, just talking sports and not obsessing like we kind of obsess about it right now. We kind of joke about, would you trade Paul Skeens for Julio Rodriguez? There was kind of none of that. Why don't you just say, who would you have put number 1?
I would have probably put David Locke. I would have had you, Sandmeyer, and Stretch number 1. That's the show I would have had.
So should I never talk to Jim Moore again?
I wouldn't talk to him again. Don't worry about it. You never have to. He should get your thoughts. He should get your thoughts on it.
He wrote me an email.
After it?
Before it.
Oh.
Asking me when I came, asking me for some clarification on dates as to when I came to town. Then, of course, he ignored my email and wrote the incorrect dates in his piece. But that's Jim Moore-like, right?
That's just who does it.
And in his email, I hope I'm not speaking out of turn. Is it possible that he's watching right now? He's not going to.
No.
He won't see this. He won't ever.
He's driving to Spokane.
Okay, so he would never see this. He won't know that I said this.
No.
I hope I'm not speaking out of turn. I don't think I am.
Say it.
he said something like in the email, I wish I had it in front of me. I could actually read it to you. He wrote, I'm doing this piece in the Tacoma News Tribune on the top 10 talk show hosts of all time, sports radio talk show. And you're on the list, really high on the list. And when he wrote that, I just said to myself, I'm not number one.
Not number one.
Not number one. I knew it before it came out. Had a really bad night. My wife's like, "What's wrong with you?" I said, it's not important right now.
Yeah, but it is. It affects you. It does. Someone doesn't recognize the true brilliance that was you.
Brilliance.
It hurts. All right, let me circle back to Brett.
Yeah, Brett. My boy.
Okay, so if you ask,
he's in the other room right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
How does he feel about Julio Rodriguez? Because I was talking to Brad about this one. And one thing that always amazes me when I'm around like 11 and 12-year-old kids who should love him, who are baseball crazed kids. They should love him.
Yeah, this is different though than a 19-year-old guy in college.
I know, but okay, but he was in high school when Julio broke in.
Yeah.
But why? Okay.
Yeah.
How does he feel about him?
I think Brett, and I'm not going to speak for him. I guess I am speaking for him. I think he would say overrated.
Okay.
I think he would say overrated. I think that, and I don't know if I think you can cut it into two parts. Number one is just the overall quality of the work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then, but I think the big piece, and while it's only a minuscule part of his portfolio, is when he comes up in big situations. And really, and think about it, that's really only what? 20 at-bats over the course of his first, whatever it is, 4 years, 25 at-bats. We're talking about a tiny, tiny sample set, but I think that those 20 or 25 at-bats have really soiled his reputation. I think people have gotten to the point where when he comes up late in the game in a big moment with a guy on third and less than 2 out, we are now conditioned that he is not going to come through. He's not even going to lift the freaking fly ball to show. Now, that might be unfair because he's probably done it a few times. He's probably come through in that situation. Mm-hmm. But it just feels like we can't count on him when the chips are down. Am I wrong or right?
No, I think you're tracking, and I think that's what most of the kids that are in my son's friend circle who are all baseball players, they would say the same thing.
Yes.
And I'm amazed when I would talk to them because you're out there warming up, getting ready, and they're talking about the game, and then Julio's name always comes up, and I was amazed of how many of them would be critical of him or trash him. I'm like, he's just not that good. And I'm like, God, this is their Griffey to me. Like this is their Griffey. How I was like, why do they not love him more? Or obsess about him more, like I did when Griffey was coming up. And again,
the difference when Griffey was coming up to the performance between the two.
I know, but it's not different. But it's not like this guy has been like terrible. It's not like he's been awful.
Well, let me say what I just said in a different way, and you answer this question, or your audience answer this question. What if he were the exact same Julio with the exact same numbers? What is he, about 249, 250, 252 with like 11 homers and low OPS? Let's say he had the exact same numbers as he has right now, okay? But the difference is, let's say he succeeded in 8 or 10 of those 25 at-bats that we were just talking about. And he was not perceived as a guy who couldn't come through in a big moment. Let's say he did come through, and let's say he had a couple of Cal Raleigh. Remember the Cal Raleigh home run that put him in the playoffs? Let's say that Julio had a few of those, and people were excited when he'd come up in a big. How would the perception of him be different if he were the same 249, 250, 252 hitter with 11 home runs? You understand the question?
Yeah, of course.
I think it would be huge. I think it would be much different. People would be much more willing to give the guy a break.
Okay, you hear this all the time. How much does the contract play a part in it? How much does now? Again, the contract looks better and better because if you don't hit these incentives, it's not going to be this monstrous contract that everyone thought when it initially came out. But still, people don't see $200 million.
Yeah, I think
$450 million.
I think it's a very palatable contract for the Pirates after the trade.
Just tell everyone you would do it. You would do it.
I think it's a stupid tweet.
No.
But I got a but.
Okay.
You have to think about it, don't you, a little bit?
It's a tough think one. About it. It pauses. It stops you.
One. It's a tough one. He's an everyday player that still might be something close to junior. There's still a chance. He's still young. He plays every day. He plays a Gold Glove caliber center field, except for last night. There's still that temptation that he might be. And then there's Skeens once every fifth day. He's just magic.
Yeah.
I'll ring the bell. I just did my show. I do my show with Danny right before the Peace Show with Danny. And I gave him the same thing. And he said, I wouldn't do the deal. I'd hold on to Julio. And I said, before you make that final, hear me out on this. Who pitched last night at Yankee Stadium, Puckett?
For who? For the Yankees?
For the Mariners.
Oh, Logan Evans.
Yeah. How'd he do?
Oh, terrible.
Okay.
It's because of the glasses, though. Stop wearing those glasses.
You'd be taking Logan Evans out of the rotation and replacing him with the best pitcher in baseball.
Yeah, okay. But you got five guys already, and the guys are hurt. You have Miller and Gilbert and Kensky.
Come on. You'd go Kirby, Wu, Castillo, Logan Gilbert, Paul Skeens.
But how does that help you score runs?
It doesn't.
Yeah.
You don't have to score that many, though.
That's true. I agree with Danny, although it's tantalizing. He's the position player for a pitcher, and this organization's been so good at finding pitchers. And I agree. He's probably he can be a once in generation type of starting pitcher. But
okay, let me ask it to you one other way before you finally.
God, will you just tell people you want to do the deal?
No.
Stop it. Stop dancing around it.
I don't think I would do the deal. But let me just add one caveat.
Okay.
What if I said to you that immediately, now what Skeens doesn't make any money, right? He won't make any money for a while, right? What if I said to you that part of the trade is that they're going to immediately take this offseason, the money that they have committed to Julio, that they don't have to pay him anymore, take away the difference that Skeens makes, and they're going to spend that on a position player so that now you get Skeens and somebody for the money you were paying Julio. Does that change?
Wait, you kind of broke up there. Are we talking about the same ownership that doesn't spend money on anything? That gets rid of, hold on, that gets rid of money?
Yeah.
This same ownership group that would get out of the $300 or $400 million they would pay him, you think they'd reinvest it? Not a chance in hell they'd reinvest it.
No, not the $300 or $400 million.
$100 million.
The $20 million a year.
No. I don't think I think they'd pocket it. I think Chris Larson put it in his back pocket and buy more ratty clothes.
Okay, what if he didn't? And he was willing to spend $20 million on a player.
If I slept with Kate Upton, that would be incredible, but it's not going to happen.
You get Levy too.
Oh, okay. I'm in. I'll do the deal. I forgot about Levy Dunn. Hey, did you see where New York City didn't let her buy Babe Ruth's apartment?
I saw like headlines. I don't know that I
really read the story, but I'm like, why wouldn't you sell it to her? She's going to pay it in cash too, like a $1.4 million in cash. And like, no, we don't want you. Okay.
Where's Babe Ruth's apartment? Is he still living there or no? He's
still there. He's stuck in the bathroom. I don't know. You just that for some reason, New York City, they wouldn't let her buy it.
I don't know if I answered your Brett question, but I did the best I could.
No, you did. I just it's weird. It's odd to me. I just, he's on the cover of everything. He's great. He plays the game hard and he has a good time.
I love him.
He's great with fans. I do too. And I'm just amazed sometimes. I don't think he was deserving of the All-Star game. But I think it's okay to say that. I don't think that makes you a bad fan or you shouldn't be a fan just because I didn't think he had that. I didn't think he had the credentials to be on there, but I still like the guy. I'm going to root for him on Tuesday. I hope he does something spectacular.
I said on one of these shows, I said that I don't remember ever pulling for somebody the way I've pulled for Julio, the way I continue to root for him. I really want him to break through. I really want him to come up in a big moment and just do something titanic. I'm craving it. I can't remember craving it like I do with him any time out. So I'm with you. The smile, the fun, everything about him. I mean, but it's just those big moments.
He's great for the sport. He just needs it. He needs that moment. Maybe if he ever gets that moment, maybe that unleashes him. I think he puts a weight of the entire region, the entire organization on his shoulders, and maybe it's just maybe it's too much. I don't know. I don't know if it's too much for him or not. But I was going to ask you this. I was going to bring this up to you. Since people don't know this. People don't know this about you.
About me.
Your burner account is Mariners Minors.
Yeah.
No one loves the prospects more than you.
I love prospects.
You love. And I know you've been checking in from a young man in Arkansas. Have you not?
Every single
son
day.
of a bitch. This guy is just. Remember, everyone's like, well, he's going to go to Arkansas. We're talking about Laz Montez. He's going to go to Arkansas. It's harder to hit in Arkansas. This guy is
he's only hit one. He's only hit one home run in Arkansas.
Well, the league, but the league itself.
Yes, in the bill. Yes,
but the league itself is supposed to be harder to hit it.
He's facing he's facing the creme de la creme and just pounding the ball. Now, here's the thing about: have you watched
it?
Do you know how big he is?
He's massive. I've seen him in Everett.
Do you realize how many triples the guy has this year? He's got 7 triples.
He's a monster.
I don't know how he can move around the bases to have 7 triples. He's got 22 home runs. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. He does strike out every time he doesn't hit a homer.
Okay, fine. I don't care. He's got a 608 slugging right now in Arkansas. Since he's joined the team, 4 home runs, 10 ribbies in 14 games.
I love him. I not only watch Mariners Minors, which you say is my burner account, but I literally read every box score of Everett and Arkansas and Tacoma. I pull it before I go to bed. I watch every box score. Every box score, I got to see exactly. It's like the old days. Love the box scores.
You can watch, can you watch? You have the MLB TV package?
I don't have the patience to do that.
I'd watch them. They're on the.
I'd just rather see what he did. See what he did after.
He is so big.
Jordan Alvarez.
That's what he looks like. He looks just like him. I knew you'd be following that.
Oh, are you kidding me?
God,
hey, you know what else I'm following that you should be too? You know what happens? I guess it's this Sunday, Monday, right?
What, the draft?
They're number 3.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to ask you about that.
We're going to have a new guy to follow on Mariners Minors.
Yeah, but I thought they were going to get that LSU pitcher because I watched the College World Series and he was mocked to them at number 3 forever, but then in the last 2 months, 3 months, there's he's going to be
unless Washington is so dysfunctional, they fired all their guys there, their manager, their general manager, that maybe they make a mistake and they don't realize they forget about the guy at LSU. They just forget about him on draft night. And they go, oh, we forgot about that guy.
Who has number 2? Because what they've got number 1, they expected to take Holiday, right? Who gets number 2?
No, I think they're going to take the LSU guy number 1.
You think they are?
Well, I don't really know. I had a guy named Jim Callis on my show.
Oh, and I know who Jim Callis is.
He teaches me everything, and he was on this last show, and he was great, and he was telling me who's going to go where. But the one thing Callis said is Holiday will not be a Seattle Mariner. That's the one thing he thinks he knows. He said, I don't know much, but the one thing I think I know is the Mariners, even if he's available, will not take him.
Why? Did he expand?
He did. I don't know that I was listening. But Rob and Gareth would have listened because they're number 1. He said that I don't think they want a high school shortstop. They want a college player. They want a guy that's more ready. He did say, Callis, is that this is a weak draft. This is the wrong year to have number 3, but so be it.
Did he say that it was is it the Oregon State guy? Is that what everyone's kind of?
Yeah, no, he thought it would be one of the pitchers, probably. So there's 3 pitchers. There's the LSU guy, and then there is, oh God, the top three pitchers college are lefties. There's a Florida State guy in there. There's an LSU guy in there, and I think there might be a Vanderbilt guy in there. Yeah. But he said the most intriguing prospect in the draft that's going to go really high is a high school right-hander. And a high school right-hander has never gone number one, ever, 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 ever. No one would ever draft a high school right-hander. They'd only draft a college right-hander or a high school left-hander. Never a high school right-hander.
Oh,
never. Never. Some guy in California, apparently, he said, is got the most intriguing upside of anybody in the draft. I don't know.
Seth Hernandez from Corona High School.
Okay.
Corona, California.
How do you know that?
I just pulled it up. I just looked it up.
He's supposed to be dynamite.
Okay.
Dynamite.
There's going to be, a lot of local connections. A lot of Washington area guys.
I don't want to discuss that because some of those
are coming
against Brett last year. We have some
bad. You have some.
Some bad memories like you do of your 12s. We have some bad memories of the state 4A tournament last year.
Yeah.
We try to forget.
Okay.
Try to forget.
But you got him. You got the young man of Puyallup.
That's who we faced.
You got the Mount Vernon kid.
We got a terrible draw and had to face Puyallup in the first round of the state tournament last year. What a crock of shit that was. So listen to this. So coming out of Kinko, I think we beat Bothell. Somebody from Bothell is going to yell at me that I'm wrong, but I think we beat Bothell both times last year. And we played them in like the district tournament.
Sure.
We played them over at the Everett Aquasats Stadium. And it was kind of a crazy game, and Bothell beat us. I'm talking about Newport High School. Both teams were going to be in the tournament by then. Both teams had qualified for the state. It was just a question of seeding at that point, okay? And so they beat us. It was kind of a fluky, weird win. We didn't pitch our main guys because we'd already qualified for the state. They placed Bothell 14th out of the 16 seeds, and they put us 15th, even though we had really had a better year than Bothell. We deserved to be higher. But I think it was based on that win. Well, at 15, we play Puyallup in the first round, and Mason Pike is on the mound. Do you know who Mason Pike is?
Of course.
Okay. And Bothell at 14, they play the 3. They beat the 3. Then they beat the frickin' 6. And they're in the frickin' Final Four of the state championship 4A last year. And we go home before the opening gun shot our horse. We were out within like a minute and a half into the first round.
You got Mason piked.
We got Mason piked.
Yeah, so he's going to go in the first round. There's a kid out of Lakeside. Well, there's a kid out of Lakeside that's going to get drafted, but apparently he's going to go to Stanford. So there's a bunch of kids. Kid out of Ballard's going to get drafted. They think third round.
I thought that there was a guy in the north of Seattle that's really
Mount Vernon. Xavier Nyans.
He's the first round one, right? Look at us. Look at us.
God, screw you, Jim Callis and Joe Doyle. That's both of you.
Joe Doyle. What a
pretender. Joe won when you had him on, right?
Pretender. He's on every week, and he's a pretender. He just makes things up.
He's a pretender. Hey, last thing for you, and I'll let you go. Have you seen this? I've talked about it earlier. Have you seen this story coming out of Oklahoma City? Do you remember our good buddy Barry Trammell? Remember of the Daily Oklahoma? How many times did you have Barry Trammell on your show? Probably back then.
He and his lisp. Sure do.
Come on. Leave Barry alone.
I love Barry.
And he spells it with an E.
He does.
I don't understand that.
Yeah.
Get that. He now working for the Tulsa World.
I don't know what that is. What's
the newspaper?
What did I miss?
He's reporting Clay Bennett's going to sell the team soon. Selling the team.
That doesn't surprise me, actually.
You know how? Think about it. They bought it for $350 million in 2008. It's going to be valued, they think, at $4 billion.
That's right.
Unbelievable.
Do you remember how everybody laughed at Stephen Ballmer when he paid $2 billion for the Los Angeles Clippers? Remember?
Yes, we all did. Yep.
And we all thought, "Oh my God, what is he doing?" What he did was he made every other owner in the world of an NBA team Really excited.
Does he want to buy another team? Because hold on, chew on this one for a second. Because he's Trammell writes, hey, the expectation is that they sell it to a local owner. Expectation.
Of course.
Okay. Of course. But now they're moving into a new arena, apparently. They're building a new arena in 2028 or something like that. But the buyout to break the lease is $1 billion. That's it. Now, I say that's it. But when you've got FU money, that's it. Why wouldn't, if you're somebody loaded, what's the price tag going to be here for an expansion team? $5 billion? Okay.
More. Between 5 and 6.
All right. So why wouldn't you buy them for $4 billion and then spend another $1 billion to break the lease and move them back?
Oh, he's not going to do
okay. Really?
You think my schemes for Julio thing is stupid? This is the most stupid thing you've ever done. You're dropping. Not only are you not in the honorable mention anymore. Come on, this is terrible. There is no way that Clay Bennett would do anything but sell it to a guy who is deep rooted in the Oklahoma City area.
$5.5 billion, Clay.
Why are you not talking about the story about Todd Lywicki, or is it Tim Lywicki?
It's Tim. We talked about it.
You did?
Did you see what he could possibly go? He could go away for
20
years and $1 million fine.
God.
Jesus. And he's already out. He already stepped down as the CEO. Here, somebody said this to me earlier. Where the connection, because they went on a real defense yesterday, sending about a bunch of press stuff. Hey, this isn't, we know about it. This doesn't affect anything with, any future endeavors with Memorial Stadium, with the Sonics and all that. Here's what it does affect, though, when it comes to expansion of the Sonics. Vegas. He was supposed to be the guy that builds the new arena in Vegas along with that Fenway group. That was going to be the new home of whatever expansion team.
I thought the Lywickis might be involved somewhat in ownership of the expansion Seattle franchise.
So I think Oakview would be. I mean, Oakview owns the majority of that arena. So
big stuff all over a University of Texas.
It's
arena. I mean, with all the stadiums and arenas they built in the billions and billions of dollars, he's going to go to jail over unethical practices when it comes to the University of Texas basketball arena.
Yeah.
Small potatoes. The whole thing doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't make sense. All right. I know you got better things to do. Chapter 8, KJ Arntz in the books. And again, hey, listen, live show, you get all of it. But once we sign off here in a few minutes, I don't think
we should do that anymore. What? I don't think we should do that anymore because I'm number 2. And I think you only do that with the number 1 group.
You got to sign up, join to be a Pucks Posse member, pucksports.com, or go to MitchUnfiltered.com to sign up to be a patron for Mitch, and then you can get full access video, audio on both platforms. Number 2. All right, my friend.
I did the best I could, Jim. I did the best I could.
And it wasn't
frankly, I thought I had done enough. But I guess not.
Until next week, number 2, we'll see you.